Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, y'all.
Someone to call my home. Sunny war no more. Live in shalom. Only 144,000 of Jacob will make it in. Is Christ your friend? No need to pretend. Here's the question: did you walk in faith or did you walk in sin? Did you keep the law or did you pick and choose? Did you tell the truth about who's the real Jew? There's no excuse. You had the clues, but you closed the book and turned on the news. And when Christ breaks the sky, every satellite will fall from space, hit the earth and die, and then right after disaster from the master. Puzzle faces looking for the rapture. True, the day that Christ provides first, so they can walk in heaven here on earth.
American dream, a family, a dog, a picket fence, a house that is clean. That's through the habit, it's the levy, the straight. The root of evil is money, it ain't the most highway. 144,000 will bask in his glory. Life is an apartment building, cause there's more than one story. I accepted the most high, and what was I on? They the past like Mike, and I'm the future like LeBron. I follow the commandments, cause the most high said so. Red Bull and Xbox will get your wings in a halo. My people is flying, and it's making me sick. Just because you repent ain't putting you on that list. Ain't no cutting in line, ain't no paying the dough, man. Don't matter if you're rich or whether you're poor, man. If you obedient and you're filled with the faith, then the upper room will be your final resting place, and that's heaven.
The throne of the Father. You still sinning? Don't even bother. You not going if you follow Sean Carter. A little Wayne, he another Carter. Came from Obama back to Jimmy Carter. America not Babylon, it's just the daughter. Told us looking bitches that shine like 2/4. Son's gonna die, you make it call a martyr. So elevate your mind and it cross expansion. I want a room in a heavenly mansion. Don't try to figure it out your path, don't let it choose you. You can play it back, I'm not trying to confuse you. Poetical prophet, truth set me to gifted. Cerebral technician, the microphone I lifted. Thinking you can take to get in, you can save it. Signing off quad to 6-foot David.
Let me tell you what it feel like. Real right, so I'm back in the field like. Examine yourself before the judge come in the heat of the night like O'Connor. So I'm gonna show you how to live it when I spit it through the spirit. Hope you feel it. This is the spirit that teaches when you hear it. So when it's death is, it's death there. So don't step there. But self-rearrange and let the Most High change you, my brother. That's what I utter with them dead bone tang. Who them the strange fruit that used to hang. Now I'm spitting out truth for the youth to change. To see us like heaven. When them guns down, when the word is your weapon and the Lord to your weapon. Not Baal, but I'm mastered in heaven. And there's no more jails for the nation. That's heaven. Yes, that's heaven. Heaven.
And it's the music of the Israelites right here on Blog Talk Radio. You can find them at YouTube.com. Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you and yours, wherever you are on the World Wide Web. You are listening to Let's Talk, brought to you by the Men Empowered Radio Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network at blogtalkradio.com. My name is Malachi. I am your host for another edition of Let's Talk right here on Blog Talk Radio. It is March the 4th, 2013. We are making up Sunday show because of conflict in our scheduling, so we're going to do it tonight, the Book of Jasher. That's right, the Book of Jasher, chapter 21. And if you would like to join in on our show conversation, you can hit us up while we are here live at 347-205-9279, or you can chat with us right there in the chat room at Blog Talk Radio. So, if you are ready to make a comment, you press 1 on your phone and we will plug you right into our show conversation. And as always, our office here at the Men Empowered Organization is Men Empowered to Prosper at yahoo.com. And our phone line is 504-484-9388. We are Men Empowered at twitter.com. Tonight's show, the Book of Jasher, chapter 21, will start momentarily. Just want to remind you, on Tuesday night is the continuation of CSI, Crime Scene Investigation. That show is scheduled to start at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And on Thursday, it's all again, Let's Talk, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, on Sunday, we have Let's Talk, the Book of Jasher, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Just want to remind you, you can listen to the one and only, the fantastic, right here on this network, Blog Talk Radio, the Gathering of Christ Church. They're here 4 nights a week. Check their listings of scheduled times. Don't forget about the Hebrew Academy. You can send them an email for more information. You can hit them up at gatheringas1, the number 1, at AOL.com. And the official website for the Gathering of Christ Church is www.gatheringofchrist.org. The Men Empowered Organization is here 3 nights a week. Hopefully we'll be expanding to 5 nights a week. And we are going to get started momentarily with the Book of Jasher. We ain't just talking, we are reading as well.
Cleaning out my closet, mixtape.
Yeah, to everyone listening, what's going on? Berg. Let's go, yeah. 1, 2, y'all, and you don't stop. Say 1, 2, y'all, and you don't stop. 1, 2, y'all, and you don't stop. Grinding for peace, you know we are the sure shot. 1, 2, y'all, and you don't stop. Say 1, 2, y'all, and you don't stop. 1, 2, y'all, and you don't stop. Grinding for peace, you know we are the sure shot. I ain't just talking about it, man. I'm living a life. You know I'm walking around with the spirit of Christ. Yeah. Hey yo, my reason and my purpose for writing down these words is my brothers on the curb, running after they urges. Some have become herbalists, crack dealers and murderers, cat pillars, act like gorillas and inserting us. Already took the earth from us, plainclothes burglars, ran up on the homeland when hammers fan merciless. On the sand, circled us, a full bliss from the boat. They hurried to approach the surplus, threw us on the block for $1 why to purchase us. Now I hear the cannon burst and bust over my us trying to murder us. Banging over, driving by in a black truck. I don't know what's up, man. For real, hey yo, I don't know what's up. Can't believe they try and kill their own. Somebody gotta put the king back on the throne. So I'm here to do it. You gotta believe this is more than music. Ain't just talking about it, man. I'm living a life. You know all around with the spirit of Christ. I'm out there on the battlefield, day and night. Somebody gotta do it. Yeah, but I know the truth is leaking out. Listen to the wind and I can hear what they speak about. Besides screaming out, I got that reefer out. Talking about the next speaker out, man, they reaching out. They ask each other what the boy Jesus about. Say, I know we was raised in the hood, but can we get out? The answer is yes, this is so it's the hand in the tech. Can produce tears, blood, and sweat, just like the compression of your chest. Can produce breath, and that breath produce stress. You can produce success. Yes, I bet all of my loot to prove that you blessed. Spend all of my time dropping these rhymes in the U.S. I write the rhymes that show up on the news desk. Get a message to who's left. God, make them new and fresh. Yeah, please, God, make them new and fresh. I made it a point to never forget about the rest. Ain't just talking about it, man. I'm living a life. You know all around with the spirit of Christ. I'm out there on the battlefield, day and night. Somebody gotta do it. Yeah. A 1-2, y'all, and you don't stop. Say 1-2, y'all, and you don't stop. A 1-2, y'all, and you don't stop. Grinding for peace, you know we are the sure shot. A 1-2, y'all, and you don't stop. Say 1-2, y'all, and you don't stop. A 1-2, y'all, and you don't stop. Grinding for peace, you know we are the sure shot. Yeah, this how it goes down. It's Sean Bird, South Philly exclusive. Shout out to my man Sty Sharp, Society Park, Cypher Chronicles, grinding for peace. My man Royce and Cali. Yeah, I ain't just talking about it, man. I'm living a life. You know all around with the spirit of Christ. I'm out there on the battlefield, day and night. Somebody gotta do it.
And welcome back to Let's Talk. My assistant just now told me that my mic was not on. And I was wondering, why in the world was she doing the Cabbage Patch over there? She was trying to get my attention to let me know that the external mic, well, on the studio keyboard, was not on. I had my headset on, but not my keyboard. So if you was not able to hear anything, sorry about that. That's the way it is when you're live right here on the radio. The Book of Jasher, chapter 21, verse 1. And it was at that time, at the end of a year and 4 months of Abraham's dwelling in the land of the Philistines in Gerar, that the Most High visited Sarah, and the Most High remembered her, and she conceived and bare a son to Abraham. Verse 2, and Abraham called the name of the son which was born to him, which Sarah bare to him, Isaac. Verse 3, and Abraham circumcised his son Isaac at 8 days old, as the Most High had commanded Abraham to do, until his seed after him. And Abraham was 100, and Sarah 90 years old, when Isaac was born to them. Verse 4, and the child grew up, and he was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast upon the day that Isaac was weaned. Verse 5, and Shem and Eber and all the great people of the land, and Amalek, king of the Philistines, and his servants, and Philco, the captain of his host, came to eat and drink and rejoice at the feast which Abraham made upon the day of his son Isaac being weaned. Also Terah, the father of Abraham, and Nahor his brother, came from Haran, they and all belonging to them, for they greatly rejoiced on hearing that a son had been born to Sarah. Verse 7, and they came to Abraham, they ate and drank at the feast which Abraham made upon the day of Isaac's being weaned. Verse 8, and Terah and Nahor rejoiced with Abraham, and they remained with him many days in the land of the Philistines. Verse 9, at that time Sarah, the son of Reuel, died in the first year of the birth of Isaac, son of Abraham. Verse 10, and all the days of Sarai were 239 years, and he died. Verse 11, and Ishmael, the son of Abraham, was grown up in those days. He was 14 years old when Sarah bare Isaac to Abraham. Verse 12, and the Most High was with Ishmael, the son of Abraham, and he grew up, and he learned to use the bow, and became an archer. Verse 13, and when Isaac was 5 years old, he was sitting with Ishmael at the door of the tent. Verse 14, and Ishmael came to Isaac and seated himself opposite to him. And he took the bow and drew it and put the arrow in it and intended to slay Isaac. Verse 15, and Sarah saw the act which Ishmael desired to do to her son Isaac, and it grieved her exceedingly on the account of her son. And she sent Abraham and said to him, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for her son shall not be heir with my son. For thus did he seek to do unto him this day. Verse 16, and Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah, and he rose up early in the morning, and he took 12 loaves and a bottle of water, which he gave to Hagar, and sent her away with her son. And Hagar went with her son to the wilderness, and they dwelt in the wilderness of Paran with the inhabitants of the wilderness. And Ishmael was an archer, and he dwelt in the wilderness a long time. Verse 17, and he and his mother afterward went to the land of Egypt, and they dwelt there. And Hagar took a wife for her son from Egypt, and her name was Meribah. Verse 18. Now just remember that Hagar was an Egyptian because she was given from the Pharaoh to Sarah because of the incident that happened to Sarah and Abraham pretending to be brother and sister. The Most High got on Pharaoh's case for messing with that particular woman because he had adultery in his heart concerning Sarah. So therefore, he gave Hagar as a bondswoman to Sarah. And as you know, that Sarah gave her husband Abraham Hagar so that she can bear a son, because she thought that she was not able to have a child like the Most High said that she would, but the Most High's word always come through. Verse 17, and he and his mother afterward went to the land of Egypt, and they dwelt there, and Hagar took a wife for her son from Egypt, and her name was Meribah. Verse 18, and the wife of Ishmael conceived and bare 4 sons and 2 daughters, and Ishmael and his mother and his wife and children afterward went and returned to the wilderness. Verse 19, and they made themselves tent in the wilderness in which they dwelt, and they continued to travel and then to rest monthly and yearly. Verse 20, and the Most High gave Ishmael flocks and herds and tents on account of Abraham his father, and the man increased in cattle. Verse 21, and Ishmael dwelt in deserts and in tents, traveling and resting for a long time, and he did not see the face of his father. Verse 22, and in some time afterward Abraham said to Sarah his wife, I will go and see my son Ishmael, for I have a desire to see him, for I have not seen him for a long time. Verse 23, And Abraham rode upon one of his camels to the wilderness to seek his son Ishmael, for he heard that he was dwelling in a tent in the wilderness with all belonging to him. Verse 24, and Abraham went to the wilderness, and he reached the tent of Ishmael about noon. And he asked after Ishmael, and he found the wife of Ishmael sitting in the tent with her children, and Ishmael, her husband, and his mother were not with them. Verse 25, and Abraham asked the wife of Ishmael, saying, Where has Ishmael gone? And she said, He has gone to the field to hunt. And Abraham was still mounted upon the camel, for he would not get off to the ground, as he had sworn to his wife Sarah that he would not get off from the camel. Verse 26, and Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, My daughter, give me a little water that I may drink, for I am fatigued from this journey. Verse 27, and Ishmael's wife answered and said to Abraham, We have neither water nor bread. And she continued sitting in the tent and did not notice Abraham, neither did she ask him who he was. Verse 28, but she was beating her children in the tent, and she was cursing them. And she also cursed her husband Ishmael and reproached him. And Abraham heard the words of Ishmael's wife to her children, and he was very angry and displeased. Verse 29, and Abraham called to the woman to come out to him from the tent. And the woman came and stood opposite to Abraham, for Abraham was still mounted upon the camel. Verse 30, and Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, When thy husband return home, say these words to him. Verse 31, a very old man from the land of the Philistines came hither to seek thee, and thus was his appearance and figure. I did not ask him who he was, and seeing thou was not here, he spoke unto me and said, When Ishmael thy husband return, tell him, Thus did this man say, When thou comest home, put away this nail of the tent which thou hast placed here, and place another nail in its stead. Verse 32, and Abraham finished his instructions to the woman, and he turned and went off on the camel homeward. Verse 33, and after that Ishmael came from the chase, he and his mother, and returned to the tent, and his wife spoke these words to him. Verse 34, a very old man from the land of the Philistines came to seek thee, and thus was his appearance and figure. I did not ask him who he was, and seeing thou was not at home, he said to me, When thy husband cometh home, tell him, Thus saith the old man, Put away the nail of the tent which thou hast placed here, and place another nail in its stead. Verse 35, and Ishmael heard the words of his wife, and he knew that it was his father, and that his wife did not honor him. Ooh, bad wife. Verse 36, and Ishmael understood his father's word, and then he had spoken to his wife, and Ishmael hearkened to the voice of his father. And Ishmael cast off that woman, and she went away. Verse 37, and Ishmael afterward went to the land of Canaan, and he took another wife, and he brought her to his tent, to the place where he then dwelt. Verse 38, and at the end of 3 years Abraham said, I will go again and see Ishmael my son, for I have not seen him for a long time. Verse 39, and he rode upon his camel and went to the wilderness, and he reached the tent of Ishmael about noon. Verse 40, And he asked after Ishmael, and his wife came out of the tent, and she said, He is not here, my lord, for he is gone to hunt in the fields and to feed the camels. And the woman said to Abraham, Turn in, my lord, into the tent and eat a morsel of bread, for thy soul must be weary on account of the journey. Verse 41. And Abraham said to her, I will not stop, for I am in haste to continue my journey. But give me a little water to drink, for I have thirst. And the woman hastened and ran into the tent, and she brought out water and bread to Abraham, which she placed before him, and she urged him to eat. And he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted, and he blessed his son Ishmael. Verse 42. And he finished his meal, and he blessed the Lord, and he said to Ishmael's wife, When Ishmael cometh home, say those words to him. Verse 43. A very old man from the land of the Philistines came hither and asked after thee, and thou wast not here. And I brought him out bread and water, and he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted. Verse 44. And he spoke these words to me. When Ishmael thy husband cometh home, said unto him, The nail of the tent which thou hast is very good. Do not put it away from the tent. Verse 45. And Abraham finished commanding the woman, and he rode off to his home, to the land of the Philistines. And when Ishmael came to his tent, his wife went forth to meet him with joy and a cheerful heart. Verse 46. And she said to him, An old man came here from the land of the Philistines, and thus was his appearance. And he asked after thee, and thou wast not here. So I brought out bread and water, and he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted. Verse 47. And he spoke these words to me. When Ishmael thy husband cometh home, say to him, The nail of the tent which thou hast is very good. Do not put it away from the tent. Verse 48. And Ishmael knew that it was his father, and that his wife had honored him, and the Lord blessed Ishmael. Okay, we're going to take a break. That is the end of chapter 21. You can see the teachings of Ishmael teaching his wife the custom of Hebrew. You can also see the very first wife that he had was not accustomed to that, and he was and Abraham was very, very dishonored when he met Ishmael's first wife on that. Now you got to remember, these women both are Egyptian, as well as Ishmael has some Egyptian blood in him because of his mother Hagar. But you got to remember that Abraham is Hebrew, as well as his offspring are Hebrew as well. But you got to remember also that Ishmael was not the chosen to be chosen by the Most High. All right, we're going to take a quick music break, and we will be right back. And we're going to go into the Book of Jasher, chapter 22. Here is Rare Jewels and Lace Talk. Stay tuned.
This is Jenna. You're in tune
right
to Rare Jewels
on.
with clarity and gems on the beat. Keep it locked.
Real. This is Proverbs the Wise. This is Proverbs the Wise. Proverbs the Wise. Representing VA, and you're in tune to the Rare Jewels mixtape with clarity and gems on the beat. Keep it locked. For real.
Yeah, baby. You tuned in to Red Jewels. You got the right station. Don't touch that dial. Let's go. Yes, sir. Clarity and Clear Channel, aka Kid Cobalt, aka Paradise Skills. I'm supposing it's right to exhale light. So I breathe through mics the oxygen that I write. Opposite of fatal attractions, a theme with advice that I give away free, though it's worth a serious price. You know it. We in a day, a technological advancement. What God has made a myth is people's growth is backwards. Money piles up right next to their caskets. Modern day pharaohs get buried in their mansions. Frequency of the world set to a odd number. Rap music got guns, pop music gay lovers. Is it undercovers or so blatant we numb? Well, maybe not all of us, but a grandson. I kick a verse for the sons in the slums to learn. The world is yours, baby, but be wise with your turn. Cause as the world turns, the signs confirm. Hell's getting closer as the ozone burns. But listen, you tuned into the right station, man. Listen, don't touch that dial. This is the birth of the niggas' redemption. From where? From the plantation of the hood where I made my entrance. Slain by the system, renamed by the lynchmen. My pain now positions me for a new existence. My resurrection, I got my hood on my back. And my family tree that they tried to axe. I'm Paul with these raps and I'ma take y'all to act. Show y'all Diana and our sister's booty crack. It's so heavy when revelation bricks your face. You know it. Who cares that you rockin' those babe and apes? When the whole world is full of babes and apes. Cowards with guns that wouldn't bust the grape. This is God's wrath you taste. Our podcast is grace and Comcast is face to the broadcast is great. Welcome to the kingdom that Jay-Z hinted at. And the truth behind fraud that Nas wanted back. Listen, got the right station, man. It's a very clear channel, you know what I'm saying? It's clarity, Paradise Skills. Listen, I'm supposing I'm Moses when I pose with the boldness. Telling those pharaohs face to face, you so bogus. Baloney with halitosis, I'm about to smash your cronies and chunks. No rollies, low budget, I roll holy, but blow and smash totally. Idols that kill poetry, flowing how it's supposed to be. Notice how I'm an open sea, but filtered through a fountain of faith. So y'all better build an art, cause the rain got a date. And when the tide go up, say bye to hell's gate. How low to God's face, cause then heaven is the place. Jesus said that earth was meant to be. Thy kingdom come is something that we all supposed to see. His will being done is his people being free. But that'll never happen till those people do believe. And I'm one that does, so get ready to receive. Stay tuned.
And it's the music of Rare Jewels featuring Clarity. You can find them at www.cdbaby.com, as well as Twitter, MySpace, and Facebook.com. Okay, we're going now into the Book of Jasher, chapter 22. The Book of Jasher, chapter 22. All right, if you're just joining us with us for the very first time, if you like to ask a question or you have a comment, you press 1 on your phone. For those of you all who are in the chat room, you can go ahead and write your comments right there. We'll pass it along to our friends that is in the archives, as well as our friends who are listening via phone. So we're in the Book of Jasher, chapter 22, verse 1. And Ishmael then rose up and took his wife and his children and his cattle and all belongings to him. And he journeyed from there, and he went to his father in the land of the Philistines. Verse 2. And Abraham related to Ishmael his son the transaction with the first wife that Ishmael took according to what she did. Verse 3, and Ishmael and his children dwelt with Abraham many days in that land, and Abraham dwelt in the land of the Philistines a long time. Verse 4 of chapter 22, and the days increased and reached 26 years, and after that Abraham with his servants and all belonging to him went from the land of the Philistines and removed to a great distance. And they came near to Hebron, and they remained there. And the servants of Abraham dug wells of water, and Abraham and all belonging to him dwelt by the water. And the servants of Abimelech, king of the Philistines, heard the report that Abraham's servants had dug wells of water in the borders of the land. Verse 5. And they they came and quarreled with the servants of Abraham, and they robbed them of the great well which they had dug. Verse 6, and Amalek, king of the Philistines, heard of this affair, and he with Philco, the captain of the host, and 20 of his men came to Abraham, and Amalek spoke to Abraham concerning his servants. And Abraham rebuked Amalek concerning the well of which his servants had robbed him. Verse 7, and Amalek said to Abraham, as the Lord liveth, who created the whole earth, I did not hear of the acts which my servants did until thy servants until this day. Verse 8, and Abraham took 7 ewe lambs and gave them to Amalek, saying, take these, I pray thee, from my hands, that it may be a testimony for me that I dug this well. Verse 9, and Amalek took the 7 ewe lambs which Abraham had given to him, for he had also given him cattle and herds in abundance. And Amalek swore to Abraham concerning the well. Therefore he called that well Beersheba, for they both swore concerning it. As you can see, a lot of names mean a lot of things here. So it's not just they just name just to be named. It goes along with the names of people as well. And that's on another subject that we're going to get into concerning the true names of the Most High, as well as the true name of the Son, Christ. Verse 10, and they both made a covenant in Beersheba, and Amalek rose up with Philco, the captain of the host, and all his men, and they returned to the land of the Philistines, and Abraham and all belonging to him dwelt in Beersheba, and he was in that land a long time. And Abraham planted a large grove in Beersheba, and he made it 4 gates, facing the 4 sides of the earth. And he planted a vineyard in it, so that if a traveler came to Abraham, he entered any gate which was in his road, and remained there, and ate and drank, and sacrificed himself, and then departed. Verse 12, and the house of Abraham was always open to the sons of men that passed and repassed, who came daily to eat and drink in the house of Abraham. Verse 13 with the book of Jasher. And any man who had hunger and came to Abraham's house, Abraham would give him bread, and he might eat and drink and be satisfied. And anyone that came naked to his house, he would clothe with garments as he might choose, and give him silver and gold, and made known to him the Lord who had created him in the earth this did Abraham all his life. Verse 14, you see the pattern of Abraham, how he blessed people when they were coming in and leaving. Verse 14, and Abraham and his children and all belonging to him dwelt in Beersheba, and he pitched his tent as far as Hebron. Verse 15, and Abraham's brother Nahor and his father and all belonging to them dwelt in Haran, for they did not come with Abraham to the land of Canaan. Verse 16, and children were born to Nahor, which Milcah, the daughter of Haran and sister to Sarah, Abraham's wife, bare to him. Verse 17, and these are the names of those that were born to him: Uz, Buz, Kermah, Kis, Chazo, Fildash, Tidlaf, Bethu, being 8 sons. These are the children of Milcah, which she bare to Nahor, Abraham's brother. Verse 18, and Nahor had a concubine, and her name was Rumah, and she also bare to Nahor Zebach, Gahash, Takhash, and Makkah. being 4 sons. Verse 19, and the children that were born to Nahor were 12 sons besides his daughters, and they also had children born to them in Haran. And the children of Uz, the firstborn of Nahor, were Abel, chief, Gadin, Melus, and Deborah, their sister. Verse 21, and the sons of Buz were Barak, Nameth, Shiva, and Madana. Verse 22, and the sons of Kemuel were Aaron and Riklah. Verse 23, and the sons of Kish were Amalek, Analek, Mish, Binah, and Yiph. And the sons of Chelzo were Fildash, Michash, and Ophir. Now, as you can see on our chart that we have that's strolling along on our show page link, you can see how that chart is divided, showing the offspring, or not offspring, the lineage where Esau came from, not showing his lineage, but is definitely in the Bible itself here, as well as going on from Isaac to Jacob, giving you the 12 tribes of Israel. So as you can see that this right here is a birth record also, not just history and stories of everything that is happening around Father Abraham, but it is the official birth certificate of everyone that has been born and where they have scattered to. Now, if you can draw a chart just like the one that we have on our show page link, showing where we are with these names and everything like that, you can identify, just like when you were in network marketing, you can identify where all the descendants who are here this day, where they came from and where they have descended to. Verse 24, and the sons of Fildash were Aru, Chaman, Mered, and Moloch. Verse 25, and the sons of Tilaph were Mush, Cush, and Musi. And the children, verse 26, and the children of Bethune were Sichar, Laban, and their sister Rebekah. You see these key names right here in verse 26. Key names are Laban and her sister Rebekah. These, verse 27, these are the family of the children of Nahor, and that were born to them in Haran. And Aaron, the son of Kemer, and Rechlo, his brother, went away from Haran, and they found a valley in the land of by the river Euphrates. Verse 28, and they built a city there, and they called the name of the city after the name of Petro, the son of Aaron, and that is Aaron, Nadarahim, unto this day. Verse 29, and the children of Kish also went to dwell where they could find a place, and they went and they found a valley opposite of the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Verse 30, and they were built themselves, and they were built themselves a city. Hopefully we'll be able to finish this. And they there built themselves a city, and they called the name of the city Kizi, after the name of their father, that the land Kasdim unto this day, and the Kasdim dwelt in that land, and they were fruitful and multiplied exceedingly. Verse 31, and Terah, father of Nahor and Abraham, went and took another wife in his old age, and her name was Pelah, And she conceived and bare him a son, and he called his name Zobah. Verse 32, and Terah lived 25 years after he begot Zobah. And Terah died in that year, that is the 35th year of the birth of Isaac, son of Abraham. Verse 34, and the days of Terah were 205 years, and he was buried in Haran. Verse 35, and Zobah the son of Terah lived 30 years, and he begot Arad, Achilles, and Mercury. Verse 36, and Aaron son of Zobah, son of Terah, and 3 wives, and he begot 12 sons and 3 daughters. And the Most High gave to Aaron the son of Zobah riches and possessions, and abundance of cattle and flock and herds, and the man increased greatly. Verse 37, and Aaron the son of Zobah and his brother and all of his household journeyed from Haran, and they went to dwell where they should find a place, for their property was too great to remain in Haran. For they could not stop in Haran together with their brethren, the children of Nahor. Verse 38, and Aaron the son of Zobah went with his brethren, and they found a valley at a distance toward the eastern country, and they dwelt there. Verse 39, and they also built a city there, and they called the name thereof Aaron, after the name of the eldest brother, that is Aran Zobah to this day. Verse 40, and Isaac the son of Abraham was growing up in those days, and Abraham his father taught him the ways of the Most High, to know the Most High, and the Most High was with him. Verse 41, and when Isaac was 37 years old, Ishmael his brother was going about with him in the tent. Verse 42, and Ishmael boasted of himself to Isaac, saying, I was 13 years old when the Most High spoke to my father to circumcise us, and I did according to the words of the Most High, which he spoke to my father. And I gave my soul unto the Most High, and I did not transgress his words, which he commanded my father. Verse 43, and Isaac answered Ishmael, saying, Why dost thou boast to me about this, about a little bit of thy flesh, which thou didst take from thy body, concerning which the Most High commanded thee? As the Most High liveth, the God of my father Abraham, if the Lord should say unto my father, Take now thy son Isaac, and bring him up an offering before me, I would not refrain, but I would joyfully accede to it. Verse 45, and the Most High heard the words that Isaac spoke to Ishmael, and it seemed good in the sight of the Most High, and he thought to try Abraham in this matter. Now you see, now I'm getting the understanding why Isaac went up. Now I'm getting the understanding why Isaac went up, why the Most High had Isaac to go up there. Let's read it again. And Isaac answered Ishmael, saying, Why dost thou, verse 43, why dost thou boast to me about this, about a little bit of thy flesh, which thou didst take from thy body, concerning which the Most High commanded thee? Verse 44, and as the Most High liveth, the God of my father Abraham, if the Most High should say unto my father, Take now my son Isaac, and bring him up an offering before me, I will not refrain, but I will joyfully accede to it. Verse 45, and the Most High heard the word of that Isaac spoke to Ishmael, and it seemed good in the sight of the Most High, and he thought to try Abraham in this matter. Verse 46. And the day arrived when the Son of God, the Most High, came and placed themselves before the Most High. And Satan also came with the sons of God before the Most High. Verse 47. And the Most High said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Most High and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Verse 48. And the Most High said to Satan, What is thy word to me concerning all the children of the earth? And Satan answered the Most High and said, I have seen all the children of the earth who served thee and remembered thee when they required anything from thee. Verse 49. And when thou givest them the thing which they require from thee, they sit at their ease and forsake thee, and they remember thee no more. Verse 50. Hast thou seen Abraham the son of Terah, who at first had no children, and he served thee and erected altars to thee wherever he came, and he brought up offerings upon them, and he proclaimed thy name continually to all the children of the earth? Verse 51. And now that his son Isaac is born to him, he has forsaken thee, and he has made a great feast for all the inhabitants of the land, and the Most High he has forgotten. Verse 52. For amidst all that he has done, he brought thee no offering, neither burnt offering, nor peace offering, neither ox, lamb, nor goat, of all that he killed on the day that his son was weaned. Verse 53. Even from the time of his son's birth till now, being 37 years, he built no altar before thee, nor brought any offering to thee. For he saw that thou didst give what he requested before thee, and he therefore forsook thee. Verse 54. And the Most High said to Satan, Hast thou thus considered my servant Abraham? For there is none like him upon the earth, a perfect and upright man. Who else have we heard, y'all, on this? Is this not speaking of Job also? Okay. Verse 54. And the Most High said to Satan, Hast thou thus considered my servant Abraham? For there is none like him upon the earth, a perfect and upright man before me, one that feared the Most High and avoided evil. As I live, where I to say unto him, Bring up Isaac thy son before me, he would not withhold him from me. Much more, if I told him to bring up a burnt offering before me from his flock or herds. And Satan answered the Most High and said, Speak then now unto Abraham as thou hast said, and thou wilt see whether he will not this day transgress and cast aside thy words. I'm going to continue a little bit because I want to see how far I can get onto this story. But it's getting late, and I've really been pushing it. But I tell you what, let's go ahead and end it right here and get ready for verse 23. So if you are in the book of Jasher for the very first time, you know this story, and now you know that it was Isaac that opened his mouth and told